go to page 288, I start talking to you about last time about element. So the definition of element. And then you have, for example, some substances are composed of only one type of atom. For example, a piece of pure copper, just one type of atom. And then is what? This is what? Is an element. Now, when you have other elements together, in case, for example, water, you have hydrogen and you have oxygen, and then you have what? Compound, element compound. Now, let us go to page 289, where we have the atomic name and numbers. We have been talking about that time to time, and I try to encourage you to memorize some of those symbols that you're going to use. Here we have 118. You don't have to memorize all of them, but at least the most common one, around 20, 30, you must know. And then you see here the atomic number. You know already what the atomic number is, and you know that atomic number is what? The number of protons and the neutrons in the nucleus. And you have the element and the symbol of this element. For example, you have hydrogen, the symbol is H on page 289. Then you have what? Helium, the symbol is what? He. But I want to bring to you that some element, the symbol is not the first letter. You have, for example, calcium. Calcium what? The symbol is Ca. And some element doesn't have anything to do, the symbol doesn't have anything to do with the name that we have. On element 26, we have iron, and then you have what? Fe. Why Fe is not I? Some people think, oh, it's I or IR. It's Fe because of this symbol came from Latin language. And iron in Latin is ferrum. And then they put what? Fe. But most of them, they are in English. And then they add just the first letter or the first and the second letter. But when they are in Latin, they don't have anything to do with, the symbol doesn't have anything to do with the name. So, you have to know, as I said to you, some of those very common, like for example, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon. I know that all of you know because it's the first letter. Now, as you go on page 290, and then you have it here on this table 6.3a on 290, and then you have the elements that make up the Earth crust, oceans, and atmosphere. This is the element that you find, and the percentage of mass and the atomic number of this element. For example, you find on the Earth, on the surface, you have sodium, potassium, magnesium, hydrogen, you have chloride, carbon, oxygen, silicon, you find that. But when you go to the human body on page 291, you see elements your body is made of. Our body is made of what? Oxygen. And then you have the carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, chloride, potassium, sulfur, sodium, magnesium, iron, and zinc. I hope that this element that our body is made of, you know by memory the symbol that I see. Oxygen is O, carbon is C, hydrogen is H, nitrogen is N. Repeat with me. Calcium is what? Ca. Phosphorus, what is that? Phosphorus, it is P. Chloride, Cl. Potassium, K. Sulfur, S. Sodium, Na. Magnesium, Mg. Iron, Fe. And zinc, Zn. So this one are very important because our body is made of those. And then elements that we find in the universe is what? Hydrogen, helium, we find in the universe. So you have idea about this element, and you do for next class homework page 291 6.3, and then next class we're gonna go on periodic table. So thank you and God bless.